Hello Sussex Squad family, welcome back to Royaltelly. My name is Kenneth, and today we're diving into an episode of The Sun's Royal exclusive featuring Charles Ray, a former royal correspondent. In the episode, Ray makes some claims about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry that we need to address. As you know, here at Royaltelly, we support the Sussexes and aim to debunk unfair media narratives. So, buckle up, because we're about to set the record straight. Have you ever wondered if the media's coverage on Meghan Markle is fair? Now that's a question that's been on many minds. The narrative spun around Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, has been a whirlwind of praise, criticism, and downright bias. Let's jump right in. Ray talks about how Meghan was supposedly adored by the crowds when she joined the royal family. He mentions large crowds and a positive public reception in 2017 and 2018. While there were certainly pockets of enthusiastic fans, we can't ignore the undercurrent of racist and tabloid media attacks Meghan faced from the very beginning.
Do you think, from your reporting experience or from what you've seen as well, whether Meghan or Catherine were treated differently? Were the two women that married into the royal family, marrying these princes, were they treated differently by journalists and by the public?
I don't think they were. Not at the start. I don't think they were at all. I think, as I said earlier on, when you saw Meghan with Harry, when they were out and about, the crowds were 10, 12 deep. It was back to the good old days of, royal walkabouts. It was fantastic. It only started to go wrong, when you started to hear that there was a few strops being thrown by Meghan. Did she make Catherine cry? Did she make Charlotte cry? You've got to accept as well that any bride's going to be right up there. The nerves are going to be, razor sharp. So you've got to take that into account. But I think it all went wrong when they decided that they were going to up sticks and go. I think it's just that simple.
Remember the headlines scrutinising her every move? The negative press planted seeds of discontent. Meghan Markle, an accomplished actress, philanthropist, and now a member of the British royal family, has always been a figure of interest. But their fascination took on a different tone when she married into the royal family. Headlines ranged from adoring praises to harsh criticisms, many blurring the line between fact and bias. Ray then throws around the term "strops," implying Meghan was throwing tantrums. This is a classic tabloid tactic, framing Meghan as a demanding outsider. The truth is, we don't have access to private conversations. It's irresponsible to speculate and spread rumours without evidence. Take, for example, the contrasting headlines about Meghan and Kate's pregnancies. When Kate cradled her baby bump, it was seen as tender and loving. But when Meghan did the same, she was accused of vanity and seeking attention. It's these subtle but glaring disparities that raise questions about the media's fairness towards Meghan. Charles Ray, a respected royal correspondent who asserts that Meghan was loved and lauded when she joined the royal family, he recalls the fantastic public attitude towards her in 2017 and 2018, saying that crowds were 10 to 12 people deep during royal walkabouts. But he also claims that it all started to go wrong when rumours of Meghan's alleged tantrums began to surface. Ray's assertions may hold some truth, but they also seem to overlook the nuances of Meghan's experience. His perspective appears to be singular and one-sided, failing to consider the complexities and pressures that come with being a newcomer to the royal family, let alone a mixed-race American woman navigating an institution steeped in tradition and protocol.
I think she was given every help and everything that she could possibly have to make her route into the royal family as clean and as clear as possible. And as I say, I think she just threw it in their faces at the end. I think everybody was conscious of what happened with the last American who tried to come into the royal family. That ended in an abdication. We don't want to, we wanted to give this girl a chance. She had everything, really. She was American. She was an actress. She was mixed race. So she had all the right attributes to be a good member of the royal family. And she blew it at the end. And, Catherine hasn't blown it. Look where Catherine is now. I know she's battling cancer just like the king, but she's been a huge, huge asset to that royal family, given what's been going on for the last 20 years.
Ray links Meghan and Harry's decision to step back as the tipping point for negative public perception. But isn't it more likely that the relentless negativity and lack of privacy influenced their choice? They wanted to protect their family and mental health. Let's be honest, The Sun itself has a long history of harsh headlines and intrusive reporting on the royals, especially Meghan. Charles Ray, coming from that very outlet, needs to be held accountable for perpetuating these narratives. It's crucial to consider the source. The Sun is a tabloid known for sensationalism. We should seek out credible sources and diverse perspectives when forming our opinions about the Sussexes. Here at Royaltelly, we admire Harry and Meghan's dedication to mental health awareness, racial justice, and environmental causes. Their philanthropic work speaks volumes about their character. When Meghan Markle was first introduced as Prince Harry's girlfriend, the public's interest was piqued. Here was a woman who was not just different from the usual royal mould, but also a woman who was not just different from the usual royal mould, but who was also charismatic, intelligent, and fiercely independent. The public saw in Meghan a breath of fresh air, a modern woman who could potentially bring about a positive change in the often rigid and outdated royal tradition. The public's fascination with Meghan was evident in the massive turnout during royal walkabouts. As Charles Ray rightly points out, crowds were often 10 to 12 people deep when Meghan and Harry were out and about. There was a palpable sense of excitement and optimism in the air. Meghan was indeed lauded, as Ray puts it, and the public seemed to be in the throes of a Meghan mania. But here's where the narrative starts to falter. While there was undoubtedly a honeymoon phase with Meghan's introduction to the royal family and the public, it doesn't negate the subsequent unfair treatment she received. It's crucial to understand that initial public adoration does not equate to a free pass for the media to engage in relentless scrutiny and criticism. The love story that captured the world's attention soon became fodder for negative press, with Meghan at the receiving end of some truly harsh and often racist criticism. So, yes, Meghan may have been loved at the start, but things quickly took a turn. The media's portrayal of Meghan shifted from a modern-day fairy tale to a narrative filled with controversy and criticism. The initial love and adoration from the public was short-lived, replaced by a media narrative that was far from fair or balanced. According to Ray, things started to go wrong when there were rumours of Meghan causing upset. But is this an accurate portrayal? Now let's take a moment to delve into this claim. Rumours started circulating about Meghan's supposed tantrums. Speculations about her making Catherine and Charlotte cry. But where did these rumours come from? What was their source? And more importantly, was there any solid evidence behind these claims? Interestingly, these stories seem to have popped up out of thin air with no concrete proof to back them up. It's worth noting that the role of the media in all this is quite significant. The media has a powerful influence on public perception, and unfortunately, it often chooses to prioritise sensationalism over truth. This was evident in the way unverified rumours about Meghan were spread, leading to a negative image of her being formed in the public's mind. Consider this. Any bride-to-be is bound to be a little on edge, especially when marrying into one of the world's most famous families. It's only human to feel nervous, to maybe have a few meltdowns. But instead of understanding this, the media chose to paint Meghan in a negative light, without any solid proof. And let's not forget, the media has a history of treating Meghan differently from other members of the royal family. This bias was clear in the way these rumours were handled. Had it been any other royal, would these unverified rumours have been given such attention? Would they have been blown out of proportion to this extent? So you see, the turning point wasn't when Meghan allegedly threw Strops. It was when the media chose to spread unfounded rumours, creating a negative image of her. This was the moment when things began to change for Meghan, when the public's perception of her began to shift, not because of her actions, but because of the media's portrayal of her. As we can see, the turning point wasn't Meghan's alleged Strops, but the media's choice to spread unfounded rumours. Ray suggests that it all went wrong when Meghan and Harry decided to leave. But was this the real issue? Let's take a closer look. The decision to step back from royal duties wasn't a spur-of-the-moment choice for Harry and Meghan. It was a calculated move, a response to years of intense media scrutiny and, in Meghan's case, a barrage of unfair criticism. They were under a microscope, their every move dissected and discussed in the public sphere. This kind of pressure can be overwhelming, even for the most stalwart of individuals. Meghan herself has spoken about the toll this took on her mental health. She was a woman in a new country, adapting to a new role, and facing an onslaught of media attention. Who wouldn't feel the strain? And Harry, protective of his wife and new family, felt the echoes of his mother's tragic relationship with the press. Contrasting this with Ray's view, it seems he simplifies their departure down to a series of strops. This reductionist perspective lacks empathy and understanding of the complexities at play. It's not about throwing a strop. It's about prioritizing mental health, personal well-being, and the safety of a family. And let's not forget, this wasn't an easy decision. Leaving meant giving up a life they were familiar with, stepping into the unknown, demonstrating courage and resilience in the face of adversity. We also need to counter Ray's insinuation that Meghan and Harry's departure was the point where it all went wrong. This insinuates that their departure was the cause of the issues rather than a response to them. It's crucial to remember that the decision to leave was a result, not a cause of the pressures they faced. Contrary to Ray's claims, Meghan and Harry's decision to leave was a complex issue, not merely a whim. So what have we learned about Charles Ray's claims about Meghan Markle? We've seen that the media's portrayal of the Duchess is often skewed, and the public's initial adoration for Meghan was indeed palpable. The so-called turning point and decision to leave the royal family were personal choices, not indicators of Meghan's character. We've debunked most of Ray's claims, underscoring the importance of fair media coverage and the detriment of spreading unverified rumours. It's clear that Charles Ray's assertions about Meghan Markle are oversimplified and, in many instances, baseless. It's crucial for us to question and scrutinise what we read in the media, ensuring we support fairness and accuracy above all. Thanks for joining us at Royaltelly. We hope this video helped debunk some of the baseless claims made about Meghan Markle. Remember to leave a comment below with your thoughts and hit that subscribe button for more content supporting the Sussexes.